And welcome to Chilling with c.bo. I am your host c.bo with the full house today. We haven't been here in a while, guys, but we're back and we're here to talk about some important things that happened in between the time we got together. I'm here with Juan, Pedro, and Jack Donegan. All these people, man. It's a full house today. First off, let's ask Juan, how you doing, man?
Exhausted. This whole morning producer stuff is quite the energy bringer downer throughout the week. I don't know how you guys did it over at NBC, but like I'm barely pulling through by the time I hit my weekend. But so here's a glass to you guys for being just like freaking morning warriors getting through the shift because I'm barely hanging on.
I mean, can't give us too much credit because me and Jack, our jobs are like not as hands on as yours. I feel
It's
like.
not a producer level thing. Although the producers, from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like the producers work past 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I work so I work from usually 1 a.m. to around 9 to 10 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoosh.
I know.
Well, what days of the week do you do that?
Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday to Saturday, baby.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go to the twin. Pedro, how you doing today? You're actually out there with Juan in Milwaukee, man.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. It is freezing cold.
It really
Oh
is.
man. Well, it's freezing over here in Jersey, but
Bro, you have when you walk outside and you eat and you breathe the condensation, it hits your eyelashes and it turns into icicles.
It's
Dude,
pretty rad. It's
It
pretty
is.
rad.
It
I'm
is.
not, I go out there 10 minutes and already when you're out there 10 minutes, you can't even feel your fingers. It's that cold.
When you're driving your car, you can't touch the steering wheel. It's that cold.
When
my
you
God, that
Just
Canadian
keep,
Great
just keep
Lakes.
giving us examples, guys. We could do this for the rest of the hour.
We're
Just keep
really
going.
good. We're really good.
My God.
How cold is it?
it's so cold that when you wear boots, they still get stuck in the ice.
It's so cold that if you wear cleats, you'll still slip.
All right, guys, that's the end of our podcast.
Thanks for coming to How Cold Is It? With c.bo, the twins, and Jack.
wait. So, Jack, how are you
Yes.
doing? I like your mug, by the way. Is that like Henry Revol? Is that the Henry
It
gun?
is. It is the gun, people. I got this mug for free. I went to my
Nice.
uncle's house and he said, "Hey, I got a bunch of free Henry stuff. Do you want a hat and a mug for free?" I'm like, "Okay."
But not a gun?
It's a solid camper mug, I will not lie. The handle's like nice and thick. It's a little stout boy. It's got a nice lip to it.
Nice.
On this episode of Mug Review, we
Mm.
bring you a
I'm the
mug.
only one not drinking something. Actually, I got a cup of water over there.
You're ruining Mug Review.
Come on, bro. We told you what the lineup was gonna be today.
I even
Cold
brought the best one,
examples of
Mr.
cold.
Pill in the shape of a mug.
There you go. And
I'm
see
drinking
those
from a Dick's Sporting Goods cup.
Mine is the nutritional facts about teachers. We are the most
Three-
important workers.
only 3/4 of us came prepared with a handle.
All right.
Yeah.
My most
Jack, how
important.
you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. I'm slowly trying to make photography more of a money maker. So that's been going somewhere. I don't know where, but it's going somewhere.
All right.
But yeah, I've been all right.
Is
How
it
are you,
taking you
c.bo?
out of the house?
It's me, I'm good.
As
Ended up
I want
2020.
to point out, c.bo's the only one of us that's still in bed,
That's
while
true.
everyone else is up and about.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was prepared to use the laptop, but for some reason the modem just died. So there's no Wi-Fi right now in my house, so I'm just using data. But I have unlimited data, so it's all good. It's all good.
Likely story, still murdered. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, I'm doing okay. But I didn't end off 2021 on a high note because I had COVID. Everyone's getting COVID, right? Omicron is serious.
At my job, we don't say Omicron. We call it Omicron.
Omicron?
Apparently, that's the official pronunciation that a South African doctor gave it. But everyone in my crew are just doubting it because they had a South African accent. Of course, they're gonna say it weird, but it's Omicron. But this has been a fight over the last month about how to say shit.
Oh my
Honestly, it doesn't change the fact that it sounds like a Decepticon from Transformers.
Sorry.
Every time I
What? Wait. Did you just try to fake cough?
No, it's a real call. My
That-
throat's a little. My throat's a little
That
dry.
wasn't real. No way was that real. You were like,
every time I hear someone say
sick.
every time I hear someone say it, I it takes all my being not to finish it with like Omicron Persei 8
Oh,
from
I made
Futurama.
that joke first.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No.
Patient zero is lure. Patient zero of the Omicron Persei variant.
So yeah, on the 26th, the night of 26th, like right when I was about to go to sleep, started getting symptoms, and I was pretty much miserable for like pretty much 3.5 days. I was miserable, and I started getting better like on the 4th day. But yeah, all the symptoms except for loss of taste and smell, I still had those. But I had the runny nose, achiness, fatigue, fever, headache, all that shit. It was awful. It was like a really bad cold, and thank God I was vaccinated because it could have been a lot worse. And I actually got boosted too. So yeah.
And how did you get cured from your sickness? Did you watch some movies?
So when I was home, I was honestly binging some Supernatural. So, that long ass show.
Yeah, Supernatural.
I'm finally finished season 13. I'm almost there to the ending. I'm almost there.
Chris, get tissues.
But yeah, it's a show I procrastinated on for years. But in the last like 2 years, I've been binging it. And when I saw that I was sick and I'll be out for a while, I'm like, all right, this is my time for Supernatural, baby. Let's go.
Well, look. Just remember, as you're getting through it, keep calm and carry on, my wayward son.
Exactly. Yes.
I love that show. Screw the critics.
It is a really good show, but it should not have lasted for 15 seasons.
That could be said about a lot of shows, though.
But like 15 seasons was too much, man. I'm like, and it's 23 episodes the last season I saw. I'm like, God damn it, man. Like, God damn, I'm getting through this. I'm like, I saw like 5 episodes in a day, and I'm like, oh, I still got 15 episodes left. I'm like, what the hell, man?
I'll give you the phone number for the creators of The Simpsons. You let them know your feelings about that.
To be fair, The Simpsons is 20 minutes each episode. These are 40-minute long episodes, man.
All right, then in that case, how many episodes of The Simpsons are there?
There's like, I think they're like, are they at 1,000 now?
There's 29 seasons.
29
no, there's over
seasons,
30
how many
now.
episodes?
35.
30 seasons. Even worse.
Over 600.
Basically.
Episodes.
Cut that in half. That's 300. That's 300 1-hour long. No, put that in 717 episodes.
It says on Google 716.
So that's 239 hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's more than Supernatural twice over.
But to be fair, you could get a lot done with, I'm just saying.
Can you? The Simpsons went on for so long that they had to retcon when The Simpsons started.
Yeah, and like it's reaching One Piece territory at this point.
Bro, nothing can approach One Piece.
All right.
Simpsons can.
Well, Simpsons is close, but like One Piece is like another 100 episodes longer, and it doesn't feel like it's run into the ground.
Oh man.
They
Pedro,
didn't have to reboot randomly.
What?
Watch One Piece? I feel like you do.
Yeah, I've seen all of One Piece and I read the manga.
Oh my god, you're an animal.
Whenever I hear someone has read all of One Piece, I have to call them out and call them a liar because there's no way you watched all of One Piece.
You don't know, Pedro.
I don't know.
Let me ask you this, Pedro. How long have you been watching One Piece? Because if you say you've done this in the last 2 years, you're a sick fuck, in my opinion.
I've been a fan of One Piece since 2014.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's 7. That's 8 years now. That's okay. I can accept that.
I didn't go to class, so I just watched anime.
Okay.
You know, wait.
I can accept
One
that.
Piece has been going on for 20 years, right?
Yes.
Pretty much.
You know what else has been going on for 20 years? The
What?
Spider-Man movie franchises. Let's jump into this thing.
Yes. So this year, 2022, is the 20-year anniversary of Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man movie, directed by Sam Raimi. That was the movie. That was my Batman. That was our Batman '89, to be honest. That was our Superman '78. Like, honestly, like that was the first comic book movie where it was like, holy crap, this is crazy. Because it's like we had X-Men and Blade, but I feel like X-Men and Blade are a little overrated in their terms of like their impact on the comic book movie industry. I feel like because they were good, but I feel like they weren't Spider-Man though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Spider-Man is the most relatable character in the entire Marvel universe. He's the everyman that we are.
There's a quote from Stan Lee that I thought was really, really deep, and he said it at one point when he was on with Larry King. He said, "The very best thing about Spider-Man is that he's fully covered head to toe. You can't see a bit of skin on him." And that's a great thing because that means anybody can imagine themselves into being Spider-Man. You don't have to worry about, oh, I can't be Spider-Man because I'm not white or I'm not black or I'm not a man or a woman. Anybody can be
I'm not a
Spider-Man.
god.
Or, well, I mean, do gods walk among us?
Yes,
Oh,
Thor.
That is true.
Oh, yeah. Well, in any case, I think that's why it's so relatable because Spider-Man is the everyman superhero. He can literally be anybody that you want him to be.
He's Miles Morales. He's Gwen Stacy. He's Miguel O'Hara. Need I go on?
Yeah.
The anime girl.
That anime girl, yeah.
Peter
Was
Parker.
she Spider-Man though? If the spider had all the powers?
She has a telekinetic link to the spider.
Fair enough.
It's just some retcon BS. Don't worry.
It's like,
yeah.
oh, she's got powers. She could talk to the spider.
So yeah, we'll talk more about that Spider-Verse stuff and our stuff we're looking forward to in this year. But anyway,
So
the
excited.
20th anniversary of Spider-Man 1 came perfect timing because a movie came out last month called Spider-Man No Way Home that had all three generations of Spider-Man coming together with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and the latest one, Tom Holland, finally coming together and teaming up to take down their villains from their universe, and Tom Holland learning from them and becoming, a man, pretty much. This was his coming of age story and yeah. So yeah, I guess we're going into No Way Home. I don't know who wants to start because there's a lot to talk about with this movie. I think we can all say we all loved it. So let's all get that out there. We all loved it. So
We're all old and we all love it.
It's the MCU movies everyone asked for, and we got.
Yes.
It's everything a lot of fans have been hoping for since superhero movies started.
Yes.
And it's just the culmination of love and dedication to a media that took a long time to finally get the recognition that it deserved.
Yeah. So okay, so let me ask this: what's one thing you loved about No Way Home? I'll start with Pedro.
One thing I loved about man, I had to choose. I think what the most I loved about No Way Home was that, it was the culmination of a 20-year build-up of a character in three different versions put together. It's the fanboy's fantasy come to life, literally, in a live-action movie. You couldn't have chosen a better character to have more than three variations come together for one. All right. Now, if you could get like all the people who played Batman together, that's a different story. However, with Spider-Man, he is known for the multiple universe and multiverse identities and stuff. So to have him as like the first live-action multiverse film where like three different people who played Spider-Man come together in one movie is just perfect. It's poetically perfect.
Jack. What did you love about No Way Home?
Jeez. I think I don't know. There's a lot to love. I really enjoyed. Bree said there's spoilers in this, right? I
Yeah,
can just
of
talk
course.
about whatever I want. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You already spoiled it already.
Well, whoops, that's right.
It's a
What?
month old now. It's a month
Yeah,
old.
that's fair. Some people,
Yeah,
I know some people that haven't seen it
yeah.
yet. That's all I'm saying. Figure
We'll
I'd
give
just
spoiler warnings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think one of my favorite things is that they didn't just throw people in just to have them in the movie. Well, that's a lie. Tom Hardy kind of just got thrown into the movie just to be in the movie. It feels like.
No, there's more to it.
Yeah, I know there's more to it, but like what we got was just like
Well, we'll talk about that.
it was just a scene in Mexico, and that's all. But it really did feel like everyone was given every character that was brought into this movie was given the respectful amount of time that they were deserved. I thought it was really cool. Just I don't know why, but I had my doubts when people were talking about like this movie, just because thinking about all of the names that would have to come back in order to make this movie what it is. I was like, nah. I was just skeptical, like, nah. Everyone's gonna be either busy or they're moved on from Spider-Man. They're not gonna want to do it. Like, Tobey Maguire doesn't seem like he wants to do Spider-Man movies anymore. He's not going to do Spider-Man.
Bruh,
It doesn't matter.
Dude, Tobey Maguire hasn't been in a mainstream like big movie since The Great Gatsby. That's
I
9
know,
years
but
ago
that's
now. That's
but
crazy.
that's like
we haven't
that's
seen
what
him
I'm
in a
trying
while.
to say. Is like he was probably just living his life or something.
Yeah.
I know Andrew Garfield's been having like a rather interesting career. Like he's done some big movies since then, and like I don't know, he's like a
He's very
Keanu Reeves
active.
in this. He's a Keanu Reeves in the sense that like he looks almost the exact same from when he did Spider-Man that he does now. It feels like no time has really changed. But then again, when did the Amazing Spider-Man series come out?
That was
too long ago.
2012 and 14.
Oh my god, that was only 10 years ago. Oh god, that was 10 years ago. Oh jeez. But yeah, I felt like there were some things in the movie that could have been, a little bit better. Like Ned, I feel like giving Ned magic just for the sake of magic was kind of like meh.
That is a point of controversy for a lot of fans.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Is it funny? Yes.
Ned was the guy in the chair. Now he's like the guy with the ring and stuff. Like the magic part, he wasn't really given magic. He just kind of learned how to do the whole portal thing as a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing for the movie.
Do you know how hard it is, Pablo? Do you? You know how hard it is to make
Yeah, I agree with
You know how hard
Pedro.
magic is?
Steven
Doctor Strange gave up his hand.
Stephen
in order to learn
Strange.
magic.
Just like a nice little funny tidbit that the movie included just for a little comedy.
You know how Strange took like about a week to make a portal? He was stuck.
Yeah, and he almost died perfecting it when he
Yeah.
was stuck on Everest.
And then
And you just give this little kid the ring, and he's just like, oh, I can do it. I can bring in the Sony Spider-Man people.
You guys can't enjoy it that like Stephen Strange, one of the more serious characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, being outdone by a high school senior.
I can enjoy it. I'm saying this looking back. I think it's a little goofy. It's a little too goofy.
But it's on brand for what the Spider-Man franchise is.
It did not ruin any aspect of this movie for me when I was watching it. Like when I was watching it, I was just like, "Oh, that's really funny." But like now looking at it from a story perspective, I'm like, "Oh man, they could have thought of like a different way, not a cooler way." Because that whole scene in of itself is really funny. Like Andrew Garfield just immediately like wins you over it just in that scene alone. It's like, wow, Sony, you really fucked up. This guy should have been Spider-Man for another 10 years.
He definitely got validated with this movie.
Yeah. Oh god. Good.
Yeah.
But
Juan,
yeah,
what
that's but two.
Are you done? Are you done, Jack? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's it. Just those things really.
Juan, what stood out for you, man? What was something you're like, God damn?
Man. We gotta give credit to all the villains in this movie, man.
Yes.
I gotta say, look, even though Connors and Sandman, Thomas Hayden Church. I forget who the actor for Connors is.
Yeah.
Their performances left me a little bit wanting, but they served what they were supposed to serve. They were just kind of like, added to the villain base, and at the same time provided more of a challenge for Peter to have to take on.
I think because of COVID and like scheduling issues, they were only on set for like 2 days at most.
That's fair, and that's totally valid, and I get that.
Yeah.
I know, like a lot of people are complaining that those two characters didn't have enough to do. I personally think they didn't need to. There was no purpose to give them any more of a role than they already had as just displaced villains, And
It was all about Willem Dafoe,
exactly.
Alfred Molina, and Jamie Foxx.
Not every actor is supposed to have major presence on the screen. Those three, though, they had major presence. All right, Jamie Foxx, let's say it right now, got major redemption for his Electro character. All right.
It's funny though because he's a completely different character in this movie than in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well,
really
they
is.
explained that already though, because of the different energy gives him a different vibe.
Yeah.
I'll respect that, but Jamie
I respect that too.
got to put himself into this role, which is something that Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe got to do with their characters. And let's give it. I despite no one really talking about it, Alfred Molina, like his return to Doc Ock, while it wasn't like heralded, it was still a pretty good performance. Getting to play like a struggling like psychotic scientist who still had the issues of the voices in his head, and then everything just calmed down. The attitude change was just amazing to see take place.
Wait, time for your questions, boy.
There you go. And Willem Dafoe, Willem Dafoe. I read something online that people were scared of Willem on set because he would always change personalities to stay in character throughout the set.
His facial change when evil goblin comes out. Oh my god.
It's so good.
Some neat trick you got there, boy. Norman's on sabbatical, honey. Oh man, like that gave me chills when I saw it again in theaters. Like the fact that Willem not only loves this character, but just knows how to pull the best of it out for the greatest moments. It really truly gives definition to the phrase, the greatest heroes have even better villains. And I fully agree with that. The Rogues Gallery for Spider-Man in this instance proved very well executed. And I couldn't be happy with what I saw.
Still not as good as Batman, but okay.
Oh, God. We'll have that debate another day. But right now, I will say, as much as these three Spider-Men make up like the core genesis of love for the movie that it has right now, the villains definitely get.
Yes, I agree with you. Yes. All right. So I saw this movie, the first possible showing a person on the Eastern Seaboard could watch at 3:00 on that Thursday. And I was in IMAX, and goddamn, the energy was just insane in that auditorium. And like when Toby and Andrew came out, my god, it was like reconnecting with old friends that you have not seen in a while, and you're just smiling because you're like, they're okay, like they've been okay this whole time. And my god, I had some tears rolling in my eyes as I expressed, like, especially like
I stopped pulling my punches. Oh, that hit me so
yeah. And when they all go through, like when they're talking about their loss and stuff like that, that really hit me too. I'm like, god damn, like Spider-Man just really hits, like when they're all going through together and stuff, like when they're all together, just them together. It's that. Can we just say that's one of the coolest things that's ever been pulled off in a movie? Like, and their interactions are just so good. Like I can watch a 23 episodes Supernatural season on just them together on the road. Like just
honestly, if I could say something real quick, I think back in the early 2000s when people were thinking about comic book movies, like as comic book movies were being better, I like when I was younger, this was the kind of stuff that I thought like I wanted to see when I was like when superhero movies were just starting out, and I didn't know anything about companies and like who owns what rights to what and where, and like seeing this movie is like has been like a dream. It feels like a dream because in any other franchise, if you thought about like, it's like the equivalent of seeing Marvel versus DC like the movie. Like
Oh my God.
I don't even know if we'll ever see that ever in our life. But how like
comic.
this movie is like the equivalent of bringing a comic book to the movie screen, and it's like as good
you know
as
what's crazy? You know what's crazy? It could not have happened until like honestly till now, to be honest, because like it wouldn't have made sense like 5 years ago.
Like it took.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I will say like there. I read a couple of weeks ago that Tom Holland responded to the quote from Martin Scorsese.
Oh
How
god.
like these films are like, they're not art, they're just like amusement parks. And then Tom Holland's like, wrong, they are art. Like the amount, we just have a bigger budget than you do, and we have more of an imagination of what we can do with these concepts. Like, yo, totally agreeable. So much so that Marvel's pushing to get this movie Oscar nominated.
Are you telling me they made it Oscar nominated just to piss off Martin Scorsese?
I think that
to be fair to Scorsese, and I want the way Scorsese's argument is that the only movies that are popular in theaters are the big blockbusters and not anything else really nowadays, which is true because what are the movies you saw in theaters this year?
true.
Exactly.
I tried to see The Last Duel.
But like, I think it's because like Scorsese, I feel like his view on movies is outdated. He thinks that movies are purely art and they're supposed to have meaning and a message and something that makes the viewer think. And while I think
there's about like no, I think no, I was just saying that like I think there should be a balance for everything, but it's like the biggest movies of every year, the last like 5 years, have been the big blockbusters and nothing really else.
Do you remember when Ridley Scott was complaining that no one went to go see his movie?
Yeah,
I wanted to. I want to point.
It was a good movie. It was a good movie. I have. What?
Go. Say your thing.
No, I was saying I have AMC stub list because I just like going into movies and like I just been watching a lot of movies and yeah, that was one of the movies I saw. It was really good. I also saw House of Gucci, which was also good too.
I wanted to point out I wanted to see The Last Duel, but it was such a limited viewing of that movie that by the time by the time I was even able to go see the movie, it wasn't in theaters locally anymore. And the only way I'd have to go see it is if I drove an hour and a half north to go see it. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And like, if you look at your movie times right now, there's gonna be like 10 showings for No Way Home. And what's the movie that just came out recently? That no one's thought. What?
Matrix
Resurrections.
Yeah, but that's also on HBO Max too. That's as well. But there's like there's like 3 showings for that.
Sing 2.
But Sing 2 as well. There's not that many showings for Sing 2, even though it's doing well as well. Mm-hmm. So it's like, and what else came out? The King's Man. There's only like 5 showings for that, probably. Yeah.
Right, but like the numbers also show you people just go. People go to what they want to see, and what they want to see is Spider-Man. That's not a
true. That's not a bad thing. I agree, but I'm just saying other movies I feel like are not given a chance, and that's why I feel like in the next couple of years, I feel like all the original middle budget stuff is just going to go to streaming now. Theaters are just going to be used for the big blockbusters, which kind of sucks.
It makes it more accessible, though.
True. But I feel like it going to streaming, streaming's great and all, but it's like it kind of devalues things,
It does. I feel like there's a certain charm to there's certain movies that I've seen in theaters and then I've rewatched like on a streaming service, like on my phone or like on TV, or more so my phone, and it just feels weird. It doesn't feel like it's got that same kick to it.
It's one thing if you're watching an old movie, that's fine. If you're watching like a movie from like 1995, that's fine. If you're watching it on a phone and stuff like that, I'm talking about like a new movie from like a auteur director. It's like, like I was reading somewhere. It's like, Netflix and like the streaming services, they still haven't been really able to make something like Goodfellas or like Dances with Wolves yet. Like, there's even like the good like streaming movie. You still when you watch those movies, you're like, this is a streaming movie, like.
Well,
I get what you mean though. I think there are definitely some movies though where I feel like if given the proper budget to be in theaters, I feel like there's a good handful of originals that if they were in theaters they'd be just as successful as like, maybe not as successful as Spider-Man, but like it could be like a Sing 2 or like a
Bruh, in 1994, Forrest Gump was the biggest movie in the world. That can't happen today.
No, it can't.
no.
Really,
Yeah.
I know.
Well, what about
Yeah.
Titanic?
Titanic. Well, Titanic's one thing because that's James Cameron. That's like, he makes
But
a
that
bad
was
movie.
but like okay, so imagine a world where we don't know who James Cameron is and someone tried to
Do Titanic?
yeah, if you were to watch the trailer for Titanic and it said coming out like brand new movie coming out 2022, are you going to go see the Titanic?
It'd
A
probably
love
be a
story
flop
on
too.
a tragedy? No. I mean, some people might because they might like that
I
genre,
would.
but I don't know. It just feel like it's hard to. I think it's hard to compare movies coming out currently and then comparing them to movies that are titular because they're titular because they didn't have to compete with things that we currently have.
Yeah, that's also the rise of so many entertainment options. Like, back
Too much
then in 19
shit. There's a lot of
yeah,
stuff. There's a
yeah.
lot of shit to watch.
Let's go back 20 years ago to 2002. The best entertainment you can get is probably movies. But and like, video games were still like getting up there. Shows were still getting up there. Everything was on network television. And like, and now 20 years later, you got the fucking Mandalorian. Like that looks like a Star Wars movie. And like video games graphics are so good now. Like it's like crazy.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
We also have the rise of video game franchises becoming shows and actually in good quality, like The Witcher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everything's just caught up to movies, man.
Actually, I'll have you know that the Resident Evil movie came out in 2002, so it's argued that the video game phenomenon started in 2002, along with other great classics like Scooby-Doo the movie, Reign of Fire,
and
Spider-Man.
But play a video game from 2002 though. That you can't compare that to like movies. But now you can.
All I'm saying is that 2002 had a lot of good movies in here. The second Star Wars movie came out in 2000.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna throw some shade right now. Raccoon City sucked.
It did suck.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I heard it's the best one though, arguably.
It's not the best one. People just wanted to hate on Mila Jovovich, and I'm just like, fuck you. That's my woman.
Actually, that was the problem. The whole concept was they tried to recreate the entire video game plot in a movie.
Yeah. So yeah, so we went off a tangent, and I just wanted to, but yeah. Back to No Way Home, I guess. Yeah. So what were we saying about it? Like,
it's a nostalgia trip for sure.
Yes. But it's honestly, I think it's one of the best. It's probably the best use of nostalgia, in my opinion.
It's ultimate fan service, is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's in a good way.
I think it did a really good job of the nostalgia.
Would you guys? This is a question that I know gets brought up a lot. Would you guys have enjoyed this movie if you had never seen the other Spider-Man movies?
No.
No, I don't think. I mean,
I still think it's a good movie if not having seen it.
but not if you
Do
don't.
you think it's on that cusp of being too? There's so much fan service that like it takes away from the quality of the movie. Do you think there's like? Do you think it's really for like just people like us who have seen like all three trilogies, or do you think like because my younger sister enjoys the MCU, and she's been talking to me about like all her favorite Marvel movies and stuff, and now my older sister is starting to watch Marvel movies. My younger sister hasn't seen any of the new Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and she wants to see this Spider-Man movie, but she wasn't like a person in the early 2000s, so she's not seen any of the Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. So like I personally don't think she's going to enjoy No Way Home because there's so much stuff for us that I feel like as a movie by itself, I don't know if it's as good.
It's a risk, definitely. I will say I will agree with you, Jack, in the sense that like people who don't get the context behind what everything led up to for this movie won't enjoy it as much as people who have. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that it won't prompt them to go and look back into these times and look into these franchises. If anything, we can consider this movie is now a gateway for fans who haven't had the chance to experience Maguire or Garfield to go and do so, and therefore.
First of all, Jack, you're a terrible brother for not showing her
Sure.
these movies.
Yeah, because she likes other things.
Oh, wow.
No, but my point being is that it's not whether or not.
I'm kidding.
I put like in regards to Juan's statement, it's not whether or not this movie isn't gonna prompt people to go see that other stuff. It's that are people gonna be left out of the loop and it's gonna be a not enjoyable experience for them to like hear all like these like if I went and saw this movie in theaters and people were laughing and cheering and like the 2/3 of dialogue between
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah, and meanwhile everyone in the theater is like, oh my god, yeah, you said it, and that one person's just like, what is happening right now? Like, you look like a crazy person.
I mean, like, you could say the same thing for Into the Spider-Verse, where it's like there was a lot of references to a lot of Spider-Man stuff, comic book.
But that's like, I feel like Into the Spider-Verse kind of, you could show that to somebody who hasn't seen Spider-Man before, and I think it'll still hold up because there's such good animation and like they do a good job of introducing Spider-Man in that movie and the concept of Spider-Man. With No Way Home, I agree with Jack. You have to do some homework for it to fully enjoy it.
Like the homework that people would have for Into the Spider-Verse it's different because it's not coming from prior movies.
Yeah, it just comes from prior knowledge.
Comics.
Yeah.
Whereas
even then,
the stuff that the references and everything that come from No Way Home, it's from media that's less than 20 years, like around 20 years old. Whereas some of the stuff that's in the comics is granted like roughly the same age, but like comics is not as well of a versed media as movies are.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like that's where a lot of entertainment is going, where like I feel like a lot of people who aren't like us are going to be left out of the loop for these big movies like this. Mm-hmm. Like I said, when we talked about Titanic, anybody can watch Titanic. It's a movie it's a movie that has a beginning, middle, and end, and that's it. No more. You get what happens, and that's it. No more. No homework needs to be done. It's just they introduce it, and it's it. Same thing with like Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, he's a guy. He goes through time, and it ends. That's it. You go home.
That's not true. He's not just a guy. He's a guy who can run.
Yeah, but like that's also another thing I'm saying. It's like a lot of movies nowadays, a lot of the biggest movies nowadays require some homework, and it's just like a lot of people who there's going to be a lot of people who love film who aren't really into these Marvel movies. They're like, and if they watch these movies, they're like, huh, what the hell's going on? Like,
kind of sucks. I want to go back to the Forrest Gump days of like, all the homework you need to do is you need to watch the movie, and that is it.
I'm fine with where we are.
Me too.
It's good shit though.
Well, if I'm honest, I wish I could go back in time and like be a kid, but know all the movies I know now. And
oh my god.
Huh?
How crazy would it be to go back in time to talk to yourself 20 years in the past and be like, listen, you think Spider-Man's cool now? You have no idea. Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? That bearded guy.
What would you guys rate this Spider-Man movie?
Okay, so it's like a 10 out of 10, but it's like a flawed 10 out of 10, It's like
asterisk 10 out of 10?
Yes, because the second Toby and Andrew come through, the movie's a fucking masterpiece. But before it has like the same flaws of the other Tom Holland movies, but like before the other Spider-Man come, it was like it was already the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. And then like once those two come through, it becomes one of the best superhero comic book movies. Like, so it's like the first half of the movie is like an 8 out of 10, and the second half of the movie is like a 10 out of 10. So it's like weird. Like, What about you guys?
Let's split the difference. Say 9.5.
I kind of land in the boat of like, I think looking at it from as this is Tom Holland's trilogy, I think this one is my favorite, but I still see it as like an 8.5. Like it's still like a great movie, and I think it's a really good way of like ending his trilogy. But
Yes.
like as a whole, I think that the Marvel Spider-Man movies are like they're good in like they're in being like a weird origin movie esque type thing. So as a whole, I think it's more like an 8.5, but that doesn't take away from the fact that when I was
Can
in
I-
that theater, I was screaming like it was so good. It was such a fun
Can-
time. Such a
Yeah.
good time.
Can I just say that I'm so glad Tom Holland like just he just got beat up in this movie, and I'm just like, fucking finally, man. Like in his past two movies, he's been so babied by the Stark stuff, and I'm just like, like get out of here with that, man. I'm so glad. I'm so glad he lost his friends, and he's alone now. Like, yes, that's the Spider-Man I want. Like Tom Holland needs to get
So-
kicked in the dick, man. Like
Oh no.
some people are like, oh, I'm so sad. Like his friends don't know it. I'm like, why are you sad? Like he needed this. Like,
Can I say one thing?
yes.
Marissa Tomei is the hottest Aunt May ever.
I mean, you're comparing her to Rosemary Harris, who's like 100 years old. No offense to her, she's a lovely lady.
And
And then
dead.
Sally
Pretty hot.
Fields.
She's pretty hot.
And then Sally
In-
Fields, who's like,
In theory, she's the second hottest.
yeah.
So it's pretty high praise.
No disrespect to Rosemary Harris, she's a lovely woman. Lovely woman. I love
Yeah,
her.
she's the second hottest Aunt May in the world. So
Yeah.
pretty solid
Y'all hate
standard.
Sally Fields now? How dare you?
Sally Fields was good. Like, she's not very
They're all
memorable.
good. There's not a bad Aunt May out there. It's like, oh, they're all good. Like,
So wait, there was no such thing as an Uncle Ben in this universe then? I just want to
No, there was. It's
Okay.
just
let's talk about this. So, like, what if he mentions him, and in Far From Home, I think you see Ben Parker's initials on his luggage, but like Tom Holland himself, like in these movies, has never said Uncle Ben, and I'm like, it's so weird, and I'm like, that's one of the other things. I'm just like, I get that you don't want to revisit that again. It's fine, but at least just like be like, oh yeah, Uncle Ben, like that one time, yeah. It's I don't know, it's weird. And then like they made Aunt May Uncle Ben when she died and said that line, and I'm just like, it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know about that, but honestly, Tom Holland Spider-Man did need that though. Yes.
I will say I don't think the character Uncle Ben itself was necessarily needed, but there had to be a placeholder for it. Now, you could say that the accumulation of characters that Peter lost could have been like the makeup for Uncle Ben, like Tony Stark, for example.
lost.
No. Tony Stark is not his daddy. Get over it.
Oh, you just don't,
You-
don't get it. Anyway.
Hold on a second. I need you to explain how he's not daddy.
Okay,
Why
I
is
wasn't
Tony
saying-
not
I
daddy?
wasn't saying he wasn't daddy. I'm saying he wasn't his daddy.
But how?
Dude, he provided him with guidance and the technology. Plus, he taught him how to.
God. But like,
I'm just saying, what I'm trying to get at is that Peter got his Uncle Ben experience through multiple characters. Tony, Happy, Aunt May, like it all came together through different sources and ultimately created the Spider-Man we all know and all love. So what I'm trying to say is I don't think an actual Uncle Ben character was needed in this instance. I think
okay,
there was plenty of other characters to fill the void.
a nice mention would have been nice. A mention would have been nice.
Well, there was a mention, remember?
You're too much
When
of a
you
purist.
do what I do.
I'm not even that much of a purist. It's like, remember in Spider-Man PS4, he looks at a picture of Uncle Ben. That's all I needed. That was more meaningful. It's like come on, like just one thing. One second of dialogue. It's like, oh, Uncle Ben, I miss you. That's it. That's all we need. That's all we need. We don't need to see him get killed again. That's all we need. Like,
honestly, I wish you could have seen the tombstone.
yeah. Yeah. Why was there a tombstone of Ben? What the hell? Like, what? Where? Like, why does Marvel Studios hate Uncle Ben so much?
Just accept that there is no Uncle Ben in the
Yes,
Marvel.
there is.
No, there
No,
isn't.
there is, Paul. There is. How else would he be Spider-Man?
Spider-Man can happen other ways.
But I thought the
I
thought the whole point was like
I have a theory that Uncle Ben died like from like sickness or something, from like cancer or something. Like that's my head canon.
No, I looked it up in the official Marvel wiki. There was an Uncle Ben. It's true.
I need to hear from Kevin Feige himself.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey Kevin,
So-
hey Kevin, is Uncle Ben real?
Also,
Was
with
it-
Marissa Tomei, there's no way she was that Ant-Man.
I was about to say. I was gonna say something. Just like
Is it Uncle
all
Ben
three of them
related?
together. Freaking all three of them together, man. So amazing, dude. That money shot at them on the Statue of Liberty. Oh my god! And I noticed after watching like bootleg clips of it online on social media, they all come in order. Like Toby comes first, Andrew comes second, and
Tom Holland comes first.
yeah. And like what was I about to say? Love their like jokes with each other. Like remember like because like Toby had the web fluid and he has they're like, oh, that's natural. They're all like freaked out and stuff like that. Like when it came from his body. I love that. Oh, it was so perfect.
Because it was every scene with the three of them together was enjoyable.
Yes.
Like
Especially
their scene with the three of them together at the Statue of Liberty, and Andrew cracks Toby's back, and they're all comparing notes of like achievements they've done, and Andrew's like, dang, I mean, you fought like an octopus man. You went to space. I just fought like a rhino, like a Russian rhino guy. And Toby's like, you know what? No, stop. Hey, stop. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Oh my
Like,
god.
All of it is just
Also,
so
so
good.
funny.
let me be honest with you. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is the most creative fighter and tactician. All right.
Yeah.
Like remember when in Spider-Man 2 he had to press down on his web shooter and it went in 2 different directions? Remember that? Also, like with the amount of villains he's faced, he is definitely the most creative and resourceful tacticianal fighter.
What was I about to say?
I will say, like, the perfect concept is, like, Andrew literally is the middle child among the 3 Spider-Man.
It's so relatable.
Yeah.
It's so relatable.
and, like, the dynamic just treats it as such. Like, all the attention's on the youngest child, Holland, and Maguire is just trying to, like, keep the peace and try to get everything organized, like, and providing guidance, while Andrew's just like, derp.
I also like how he acts.
What's that thing?
I love when Toby was like, the Avengers? That's amazing. What is that?
You're in a band? Oh, you're in a band?
How is this helping? No, but also, so an article came out, a full-on interview came out in Variety with Andrew.
Yes,
commenting like fully on like the whole Spider-Man experience, and he said that the whole "I love you guys" thing was like improvised, and that Toby and Tom had no idea what to say in the scene. And they're like, "Thank you."
Oh, man.
I love it, man. I love it.
It was perfect too.
It's so good. Like I could watch that all day, to be honest, man.
And also, like, when you really think about it, the all 3 of them, like how they comment, like being Spider-Man has been kind of like a brotherhood for them, brought them all together in that sense.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you think: does the same thing happen with other actors who play similar roles throughout the years? Like, do all the Batman feel like they can relate to each other? Do all the Supermen feel like that? Does Kevin Conroy have some brotherly attachment to Ben Affleck?
You realize the OG Superman is dead, right?
Well, you get my point is
That's not true. Val Kilmer is alive and well.
There
He
you
was
go.
a Batman.
Superman.
Superman's.
But I feel like Spider-Man from the comics is more equipped for meeting his multiversal counterparts than other comic book
But
superheroes.
about Spider-Verse again.
No, but I'm just like saying, like, in general, like, you know, like if you could imagine Heath Ledger in a room with with Jared Leto, Jack Nicholson, and Joaquin Phoenix, all like talking about the Joker. You think that they would have a similar energy to the three Spider-Men?
Probably not, honestly,
But it's
because
probably
like
try to kill each other.
because I feel like Joker as a character is just like I want to. He's very
They'd probably
egotistical.
they would go to therapy together for sure.
Yeah.
But
And like same thing with Batman's a loner. I don't think he wants to meet other Batman. He's just like, oh, you're a Batman, Jesus Christ, feel sorry for you. With Spidey, it's like, oh, I can learn from you, dude. Like, what's up, dude? It's like Spidey's just more of a more joyful, open-minded character than Batman is. Like,
Just
as much as I love Batman,
just
like,
a
can you
golden
imagine
retriever
Robert
of a
Pattinson
person.
like talking to like Michael Keaton, like those Batmans talking to each other? Like, that'd be weird. I feel like
That'd be oh man, that would actually be pretty sick. I want that to happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Please.
So, do you guys have anything else on No Way Home? Any last thoughts or?
See it as many times as you can. Buy the movie if you have to. It's that good. I literally came out of the movie theater saying this was the best film of 2021.
He
I
cried.
mean,
I saw
tears. I cried tears too, man.
I cried.
But like,
Really?
it's funny. I
Really?
only cried
I
in
did.
the Toby Andrews stuff. Not the. I didn't cry when Aunt May died. I didn't cry when he left on Zendaya. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm
not gonna lie. I felt pretty bummed out when
I felt bummed out,
like
but I wasn't like
when he went in to go
happened.
explain everything to them, and he's like, oh, you know what? No, this is better, and he just leaves, and I'm like, no.
No, I was like, thank
You
God.
son of a bitch.
Thank God. Thank God. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
He can grow by getting the shit kicked out of him. He doesn't have to go through the emotional turmoil of losing his friends.
Absolutely.
That's horrible, bro.
This is like
Absolutely.
it's the version of the Mephisto deal. Remember?
Yeah, but he didn't have to sell his baby
And
or
also,
whatever to
he
fix the
doesn't get
universe.
Aunt May back.
Because that's what the deal was for, to save Aunt May.
And in return, he sold his marriage. Yeah,
His marriage and the memory of everyone knowing that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
I mean that's better. That's better for people, I feel.
But like, I will say this actually made me love Tom Holland's Spider-Man and appreciate him so much more. Like, I did always like him, but I'm like, Homecoming, Far From Home, they were good, they were cute, but they weren't great. Once I saw this and what they were doing, I'm like, okay, I'm excited for 10 more years of Tom Holland. I can't wait for that. Like, he's gonna be the definitive Spider-Man in our generation, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that.
Also, dude, this reminds me of like that quote that Steven said to Tony. You're not the man that holds the wire so the other guy can get through. You're not the one that makes a sacrificial play.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I can't wait for 10 more years of Tom Holland. I can't wait to see what deal he gets. He's probably gonna get an RDJ type of deal where he gets like 20 mil a movie plus a percentage of the box office, which I'm okay with because, in my opinion, he is the biggest MCU draw right now, hands down.
I will ask, like, what do y'all think of the relationship outside of the movie itself, like the whole Zendaya Tom Holland shtick?
They're cute, whatever.
Yeah, but I feel like that's some kind of Spider-Man like curse or something.
Wasn't there an interview with
apparently
someone?
they've all dated their co-stars. Toby and Kirsten were a thing for a little bit. Andrew and Emma were like serious for a while, and like and Tom and then Zendaya now.
I'm actually hoping this one sticks because, like, short kings get like the best. Short kings deserve.
To be fair, he's Spider-Man, so he gets away with it.
Yeah.
Plus, he's British.
That too.
Yeah.
How tall is Tom Holland?
He's like 5'8".
No, it's like even short, bro.
He's like 5'7". I feel like.
Dude,
5'6".
Zendaya is 6. It's 5'10". 6 foot on heels.
Who's 5'10"?
Zendaya.
Oh, no. Okay, I knew that bit. I knew she was a tall person. How tall are you, Tom Holland? How come your height is nowhere to be found on the internet?
How great was that suit at the end? The bright blue and red. Oh, so good.
I just wish they
Ooh.
would have shown it a little bit more instead of it getting lost within the lights of the city.
Yeah.
I think they might have done that just in case that in the future they want to change it up a bit and like refine it more.
I'm just happy he gets. I'm just happy he gets to keep the eyes that change.
5'8", motherfucker.
Okay. How come I couldn't? How come my Google's not showing me his height?
I'm just that cool.
The hell?
All right.
Zendaya and
So,
Tom Holland shut down stupid assumptions. What? Okay, cool.
Jack's almost about to leave. Jack, how excited are you for the Batman? That's our next podcast.
I'm very excited for Batman. I cannot wait to see the Riddler in his prime. This is the movie. This is my Batman movie that I've waited a very long time. I've been waiting for the Riddler to get his due justice. Jim Carrey does a great Riddler, but I want like a true detective, master of the minds kind of battle between Batman and the Riddler, because that's what it should be. And this one's got that feeling to it. Like, Batman's not at his peak yet. He's still learning stuff. Meanwhile, we don't even know how smart the person he's going up against is, and plus, he doesn't have all the resources that he would have if he was like regular Batman. So all the pieces are there. It's just a matter of watching the movie. I'm freaking pumped. I'm so pumped.
That movie is probably the first event movie of this year, I feel like, because from now until then, I feel like there's a little bit of it's a little bit slow. It's a little bit slow.
Morbius
Got delayed to April. I'm so pissed. I was looking forward to that.
Oh, birthday present for us. Morbius. No, so you'll be in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Whoa, Juan, you going to Vegas?
Yeah. I'm planning a trip to Vegas. I'm seeing a friend of mine who's out there, and I'm planning to attend the NFL draft.
Ooh.
Yo,
That's
Vegas is a great time. Be careful out there, brother.
Won't lose. I'm not a gambler. Wow.
That you don't need to gamble that fun in Vegas. I'll just say that. You know.
I know. No, yeah, it'll be fine. I'm just staying on a friend's couch while I'm out there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack, anything else? Any highlights of 2021 since the last time we talked on the podcast?
Any highlights? I'm trying to think, because 2021 I feel like blinked away almost the same way that 2020 blinked away.
R.I.P. Betty White.
Yeah.
Pretty
crappy time.
I saw where it was an episode of Betty White on the Golden Girls, and that the old woman on the show, I forget her name, she had like a frying pan, and she's about to hit Betty White over the head with it. And it's Betty White with the caption Betty White underneath it, and then the old woman with the frying pan, it says 2021.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, you have to send me that picture. I have to send that to some people. I'll get a kick out of it.
So, yeah. Send it in a bit.
Gosh. So good. But for 2021, I'm trying to think. Anything really? Not much. Just Spider-Man and trying to think. I still have to watch The Witcher. I started Boba Fett. Boba Fett is good. I really like Boba Fett.
Yes,
First episode was a little slow. You weren't really sure what they were gonna do, and then episode 2 they fixed that right quick and went, "This is what we're doing." And I went, "Rad."
Bro, they humanized Tusken Raiders. That's amazing.
That's such a good, that's the kind of Star Wars shit I want to see. I don't fucking care about Jedis and the Force anymore.
I still care about that.
Shit. I don't care. I want to learn about the fucking fringes of society.
I have my
Show me the shit that people don't talk about.
I have my lightsaber right now, boy.
You
know I have a lightsaber.
How could you? I mean, I feel like all of us have a lightsaber.
No, mine's from Ultra Sabers.
Oh, the fancy sabers.
Yeah.
Aren't those like $800?
Well, no, I got mine for free. I got it from a raffle at Comic-Con.
What?
Yeah. See,
Whoa,
my
those
friend got a
lightsabers are
$300 lightsaber, and he gave me the raffle ticket.
what? That's crazy.
I just have good friends.
You have
Bro,
even
there's
better luck.
in Disney World, they have like these retractable lightsabers. They look so cool, but for right now, they're only like for show floor purposes. I'm just like, I need that in my life.
When
It's
they
like-
become for sale, we're going to Disneyland. We're getting them.
Wait, so it
Yeah.
collapses and lights up?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I was like I wish I
Because
was
like
a child.
actual
Like,
lightsabers take up so much space, because they don't retract. It's like,
Yeah.
God damn it! It's like, where am I gonna put this?
Yeah,
Like,
but mine's bow already, so I can fight people with it. Mine's like very durable.
nice.
So hopefully the retractable ones will be like that too.
hold on a second. I need to look up this retractable light up lightsaber because this thing sounds too good to be true. All I'm seeing are videos of people just wait, there's that meme of if she breathes, she's a thought. Whoa! Dang, that's really cool. Huh. All right. Huh. Yeah.
All right,
That's
Jack.
really-
So, oh yeah, quick thoughts on like all the Marvel Disney Plus shows we never talked about on this podcast. Loki and Hawkeye. What'd you think of those?
My standings right now.
Yes.
It's
Quick.
Loki's at the top. And yeah, I'll have some in a sec. Loki's at the top. Then Hawkeye, Falcon Winter Soldier are tied for second, and then it's WandaVision. Now, don't say that's not because I like all of them. It's just my interest in the other ones is higher. Also, I feel like WandaVision could have solved their issues without a giant fight in the sky with witchcraft and wizardry. Like, had a really cool thing going talking about someone's mental illness. And what do? Have a giant CGI fight in the middle of in the air with all the shit. You tried something interesting and you bailed on it when you could have committed to it and it would have been even better. So because they bailed on that super interesting and outside of the formula idea, it's a 4. Hawkeye's really good.
About to say, I think we can all agree that What If's on the bottom as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, what if isn't bad? It's just like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah, like, and I feel like the animation's so underwhelming with What If.
It felt like it's that weird feeling of like knowing just exactly what its budget was just by looking at it. Like, oh, okay.
I gotta bow out in a bit, but I will say, wrong. I will respect your opinions on your rankings, but I would put WandaVision first.
Wow.
Second.
Old.
Hawkeye third.
Juan loves sitcoms. That's why.
What If series fourth, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier fifth.
Wait, what was your second? You put.
My second was Loki.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's some hot take you got there, bud.
For me, it goes like this. Loki, Hawkeye, WandaVision, Winter Soldier, and then What If.
So yeah, I think mine's the same. I'm also Loki, Hawkeye, WandaVision, Falcon, What If.
That's crazy. I felt like
but I will also say What If's creative highs are higher than everyone else's highs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I do Marvel Zombies, but it kind of fell flat in my opinion.
It did.
I mean, they had ideas and they were all good ideas. It's just a matter of like, oh, we only get 26 minutes to tell this story, and we don't have a.
It's like that Star Wars 10-episode anime thing where they did different stories.
Oh my god, that was incredible. That's what I knew. There was something else.
See, that was so much better.
was
That's
fun.
what What If should have aimed for. I feel like,
bro. I need to talk
Jack,
about this show
the
for
first
like a
episode.
hot minute.
The first episode of that
It's
series.
so good.
Yes.
with the samurai. No, my
Of
favorite was the
great
what was it
shit?
called? The
Are you
ninth
kidding me?
Jedi. What was it called?
Yes, the 9, where they wait
Yes.
to get the lightsabers.
Amazing, amazing.
There's
I
so
love Jedi and training stuff. I love that shit.
No, but I like gray. I like it when they say like there's a gray, like gray Jedi, gray Sith, because that's like the best of both worlds to me. And Disney retconned that for them not to exist. The grays don't exist anymore, and I'm so pissed about that.
There were so many good that I cannot wait for a season 2 of that series. That was so it's that goes right into what I was saying before about like Boba Fett is like I don't want the same fucking story done 3 times in a row. I want like let's explore the cooler sides of the Star Wars universe that all the like the diehard Star Wars fans talk about all the time. They're like, oh well, in the extended universe, there's this, that, and the other thing, and like the anime, the Star Wars anime, and like Boba Fett and the Mandalorian are great examples of like proving that point of like, wow, actually, you know what, Star Wars as an idea is actually pretty freaking cool.
Yes.
And get
But I will
behind.
say, we need a Solo Vader movie. That's what I was saying.
That'd be pretty dope. I'm also
We had enough of Vader.
No, I'm content with also just rewatching the
Bro,
end.
there's
Of
6
Rogue
movies of
One.
Anakin. Like, come on, let's get over him.
I mean, we could, but what if we just do what's the Dark Souls Star Wars game?
Fallen Order.
Order. Let's just get a Fallen Order show going.
Yeah, with the
I would
same.
love that.
Yeah,
I would love that. I
That'd
love
be
that. I'd love. Yeah, I want different stuff. No more Vader. Let's move on from Vader.
I feel like Fallen Order is a great example of still having the bigger players of the Star Wars universe or whatever you want to call them, like having them in a story, but not being the entire crux of said story.
Yes, I agree.
Like you still get to meet all these new characters and experience new things about Star Wars while still, like sprinkling in the fact that like the Empire, Darth Vader, Jedi Order, blah 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 blah. I don't know, man. This freaking Star Wars anime. I'm gonna freaking rewatch that now.
You're welcome.
It's so good. Okay, so my favorite episodes were by Studio Trigger. Studio Trigger is such a great animation house. They did the Twins episode, and they did the episode with what is it? They did that. Oh, geez, my family's singing "Happy Birthday" to my aunt, and I'm not there. I'm an asshole.
All right, Jack. I think we can let you go.
Really quick, Twins and the old man where they find the old Sith on that planet, and it's the fight between Master and Padawan versus him. Great fucking episodes. Just great shit.
Yeah,
right.
Man.
Split.
All right, man, Jack. We'll see you when the Batman comes out.
Yes, it was great seeing you guys.
Great seeing you.
Catch you later, Gators.
Later.
All right, just 3 of us now.
All right.
That was a fun tangent to go off on.
Yes. Whew. So much stuff we didn't talk about since we last met.
It's a lot to catch up on, especially because we keep going off on tangents.
Yeah, but it's like it's whatever. It's whatever. Did you guys watch Cobra Kai?
No,
bro, sorry.
That's like the one. That's the one Netflix show I'm like all over. That when it actually comes out, I'm part of the zeitgeist because I'm talking about it and stuff like that. Love that show. I didn't watch Squid Game yet. I still haven't seen Squid Game. Like,
I've been too busy with Jujutsu Kaisen.
Juan, you saw Squid Game, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, what'd you think of it?
Honestly, beautifully shot, great storytelling. I can't remember any of the names, but like I can just describe hairstyles. Honestly, that's the
Long hair.
I've been able to get through
Wait,
it.
didn't he dye his hair red at the end? Or
Yeah, he
something?
did. But like, I will say it did a great job at telling this telling the message of like social inequality and treatment of the poor by those at the top. You know, the devaluing of humans simply because of their social status. I think it was a great job at doing that. The
Yes.
deaths were graphic as hell. And just the fact that this movie was in like pre-production for years gives you a better appreciation for what it came to be. Oh, series, you know what I mean.
Okay. Oh,
I do
nice.
think it's just I do think it's just a South Korean graphic version of the Hunger Games. Though I will say that.
I will get to it. I don't know why I haven't seen it, but everyone else saw it before me, so whatever. What else? What else? What other big thing that we missed talking about? Shang-Chi. What do you guys think of Shang-Chi?
Shang, I think it's honestly one of the top three like Marvel movies.
Top three.
Top three. I will say it's top three.
Top five.
Nah,
I thought it was good.
you don't.
You know what wasn't good? Eternals.
Oh, no, I can top that. Black Widow.
Oh.
It's not that great. Ow. Oh.
Whoa.
Shut your mouth.
Okay, Black Widow has Florence Pugh as Yelena, and that makes it a fun watch. Eternals has none of that at all, and it was just kind of like, eh.
I mean, I will say the only saving grace in Eternals was in the post-credit scene when you hear Blade off screen, and you're just like,
And Harry Styles. Harry Styles was so much more charismatic than all the Eternals combined in those 5 seconds.
It's funny. I don't even remember any of the Eternals' names.
I remember Icarus,
That's it.
Cersei.
Cersei.
No, the G.
Who was Kamal and Johnny? What was his name?
Gilgamesh.
No, that was another guy.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, honestly, I can agree with you that Eternals was not really memorable. I don't know what it does. I mean, the only thing it did was explain what
It took a swing. I will say that it took a swing.
it did a job in explaining like what the big creatures in space are that are creating like all these worlds and stuff.
Celestials.
Yeah, they did a good job of explaining that part, but other than that, it kind of just felt like a filler episode of an anime.
Okay.
You
So
thought-
okay, let's get to Venom now. Did you guys see Let There Be Carnage?
Yes, we did. Oh man. Oh shit. Oh, that was a good one. Oh my god. Woody
Okay, so-
Harrelson plays crazy so well.
So I was kind of mixed on Let There Be Carnage. I thought there were some really good parts, but I felt Woody Harrelson as Carnage was miscast. I thought I wanted someone crazier as Carnage. I wanted like Nick Cage. Nick Cage would have been perfect as Carnage, I feel like.
And that,
He's already Ghost Rider though.
He was Ghost Rider.
yeah, they're retconning that they're casting someone new for it.
I know.
But honestly, like I think that Woody Harrelson actually did a better job than people give him credit for.
But but that whole storyline with him and his girlfriend, it was so boring. Like every time it was on screen.
Look, that part was boring, but the performance though that he gave, I think it was believable enough for me to love what I saw.
I just want to say
And-
that
And like I was just about to say, visually, Carnage looked awesome. But it was already a very short movie, and the fact that we got a chunk of time with the girlfriend, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, come on.
Yeah, I also I got really bored really fast with the whole Venom and Brock fighting, like a married couple sort of.
Yeah, a lot of people love that, and at times I did love it, but I was like, it was a little too much. Too much.
Yeah, I thought like it just could have just moved along, you know, like it didn't need to like drag out as much as it did.
Yeah. But that is to say, Pedro, you're about to say something. Sorry.
oh no, I was just because I agree with him. Like, sure, the breakup was necessary, but oh my god, are they the most dysfunctional couple? Like, Jesus Christ, they hate each other, but at the same time, they love each other. It's like
they're toxic.
Yeah, literally. Oh, toxin. You know, toxin, right?
What was I about to say?
Carnage's
so-
son.
Yeah.
He
But-
might appear in the movies,
No, I was just about to say, let's move on to the whole post credit of both movies, where Eddie Brock gets transported into the MCU, but then we get to No Way Home, and Venom says these very interesting things where it's like, oh, we're a hive mind across all universes. We're constantly communicating with each other, and then he gets brought back into his own Sonyverse. But it's interesting. It's like, so there's going to be a Venom. So the Venom that's going to be here in the MCU is communicating with the Venom in his universe. What do you guys think about that? All that.
I think like they're gonna really bring. I think here's the thing. I think they're gonna create two Spider-Man versus Venom movies with Andrew and with Tom Holland.
Because Tom Hardy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Hardy versus Andrew, and then I don't know who's gonna play Eddie Brock. Maybe it might not even be Brock that takes over the symbiote, in the MCU. It might be Flash Thompson, who was Agent Venom.
That Flash Thompson.
No, not that. No. I don't want that Flash. Not that Flash.
Give the man a little bit of a redeeming quality.
There's no redeeming quality for him.
Anyway, I just feel like, what are you gonna do when that happens? You can't just play one movie and then the other. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of, it's too much whiplash, So I think like it's gonna be an interesting direction where they take this, especially when they left that little piece of symbiote in the MCU to follow.
What if another multiverse thing happens and they both get the black suit?
So I think we're gonna. I think. No, I was just about to say. I think we're gonna get a No Way Home kind of part 2, but with Venoms. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just don't bring back Topher Grace, please.
I wouldn't be against that, to be honest.
Me neither.
He wasn't a great Venom, guys.
But we said that about Jamie Foxx and Electro,
But that's because of the script that failed him. But I'm talking from an acting perspective.
The script failed Topher Grace.
Yeah.
He just wasn't. He was more annoying than he was villainous. He was like he's like Sprite from Eternals. He's just annoying.
Was it okay? What else? But yeah, I think we're gonna see a No Way Home part 2 with Spider-Man's gonna reunite again, and I think we're gonna get Venoms again too, because we have to get that. Like, even Dave said, like, it's gonna happen eventually, but I think they're like working out the kinks of it.
I think right now just finish Andrew Garfield's trilogy and just give him the damn third movie so that everyone else is like on equal ground.
Yeah.
And for the love of God, just like bring back Spider-Gwen. Bring Emma Stone to the back as Spider.
Apparently, that was the original plan for Emma Stone to be Spider-Gwen.
Well, they were also gonna make Shailene Woodley like Mary Jane Watson, but they deleted all her scenes in Spider-Man 2.
Question: are you for or against Spider-Gwen and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man being together?
I want to be against it.
I am, because I feel like, we already have one Spider-Gwen relationship sort of going on with Miles and Into the Spider-Verse. So to keep the continuity, I'd be like, no, I'm not your Gwen, blah, 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 blah,
So I guess that gets to the next topic, where what's our most anticipated 2022 movies or shows? And I guess we'll start with Across the Spider-Verse. Bro, they're saying this animation is going to be even crazier in this movie. Like,
I will say, like, I'm just excited. I just don't get what the story's going to be about. Or if someone actually commented, like, this is not the same Miles Morales as the other one. Apparently. Because, like, his room is all different and things are reorganized. His hair is much different than what it was in the movie in the first movie.
What do you want?
No, but like they're saying that it might be like another Miles Morales. I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that?
I think there'll be other Miles Morales in the movie. I think if this movie is as crazy as it is, again, this is gonna be a part 1 and part 2. I think we're gonna see like the actual like actor, the voice actor, like in a scene. I think they're gonna get that crazy. Like,
maybe I think they might. Like, it might just come to that. I kind of want to see the Nick Cage Spider-Man noir character come back. He was one of the more underrated aspects of the Into the Spider-Verse movies.
He wasn't underrated. They loved him.
I want Peter B. Parker back, my guy.
I wonder how it went with him and Mary Jane. I hope they fixed their relationship.
Mary Jane? What are you talking about?
Remember?
No. Oh, Peter B. Parker. He said Peter Parker.
I meant Peter B. Parker.
Yeah, I said Peter B. Parker, the depressed 40-year-old
I
Spider-Man.
thought you said Peter Parker.
Yeah, but I want to know what's going on with him too. How's he been?
I know they released like a little mini cartoon about him, like for the DVD Into the Spider-Verse. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I hear it was like pretty funny. Like honestly, with Into the Spider-Verse, my expectation is not grand. I just need to know what they're gonna be doing now that will require so many other Spider-Men to come together. Are they doing that thing where they're talking about the Spider Totem storyline, where like all these like people are out trying to kill Spider people?
Will they bring MCU character Spider-Man into this?
Like, there's so many questions with Into the Spider-Verse too that I want to see, like, you know, where they go with it. Are they gonna keep it its own separate thing? Are they gonna try to meld it together with the MCU? It's gonna be interesting.
I agree with you, Juan. I also want a 90s Spider-Man voice from the 90s show. I'm dying for him to do Spider-Man again.
Oh man.
I love that show.
Get back here, Shocker!
Shut up.
Love that. What else? Obviously the Batman. Jack talked about that. You guys have anything else on the Batman?
I'm excited to see him as like the violent brute that's also a detective. Like this is like Batman at his greenest when he's still figuring things out and when he's at his most violent.
It's year 2. It's year 2 Batman.
I don't know if Andy Serkis is necessarily going to be a good Alfred. He just doesn't feel like he fits the mold, you know?
Yeah. I think he'll be all right. All Alfreds have been good. I have no complaints about any Alfreds.
Do that. I mean, Jeremy Irons' Alfred was honestly one of the best ones.
Yes.
He was so sassy. I loved it.
That's the essence of Alfred.
Okay, so I'm probably gonna watch that movie like Spider-Man No Way Home, 3:00 Thursday in IMAX. Let's do it. I can't wait for that. Honestly, like I have high expectations, but I'm just kind of like I want to see where the movie takes me. You know, it's good. There's gonna be a lot of twists and turns, and I can't wait for that.
I think like it's gonna bring new life into Batman in the sense of like, you know, Ben Affleck did his best with the character he was given, but it just wasn't necessarily the Batman we wanted in terms of like the
I agree. Even though I love that Batman,
I love it too for its own sake, but in terms of like, you know, the direction in which the character is supposed to take, I think this will be a good reboot for him. You know, after the
I agree. So what else? What else is coming out? Doctor Strange, Strange Supreme. What if became essential viewing for MCU fans?
It did, and I freaked out when I saw like Supreme, Doctor Strange come in, and I almost like lost my mind. And it's good. It's good to see Rachel Nichols like back in the role of like this.
Rachel McAdams. Rachel Nichols is a past ESPN anchor.
Excuse me.
So many Rachels.
Anyway, white women all look the same. Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, the fact of the matter is, like, you know, I love the introduction of the character again because I thought they didn't do her enough justice in the first movie and give her like enough to do in that first movie. And apparently, like, they're gonna make her part of this like nursing superhero team that is part of the Marvel Comics universe that basically help stitch and put back together superheroes and supervillains during major battles. And there's gonna be a variant of her that is like part of that super team, or it's gonna be her and the creation of this team along with Rosario Dawson, who was sort of like that in the Daredevil series.
Okay. That'd be cool. I was about to say, Evil Wanda. Let's go.
Is she evil in this one?
No.
I feel like she is, and we get Baron Mordo or Dreads, like that new hairdo he has. Let's go.
Yeah. Baron Mordo. Yo, that like, I'm still not over the fact that he was like a former friend of Stephen Strange in the Doctor Strange movie. I thought that was a little weird.
Well, dude, he saw everything as black and white, good and evil. There was no gray. So now that he saw that his leader was actually very gray, it broke him.
Okay. You know, Avatar 2 finally comes out this year.
Yeah, we've been talking about Avatar 2 for the last 12 years. Okay, it's had so much
13
time.
years, buddy. 13.
Oh, off the 1 year. Look, the point is that every year it's just like, oh, it's gonna come out this year. It's gonna come out.
It's set in stone this year, man.
It better be. I'm tired of waiting. I want to I get that the first one took what 10 years to like put together because the technology wasn't available yet, but the technology is available now, James Cameron. What are you missing to do?
I think when that movie comes out, it's gonna be a really big deal. Like,
I think so. I think it won't be as big of a deal as No Way Home, but it'll still be a big deal.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be an even bigger deal because I think like all you need to do to get Avatar is just watch the first one. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. When that first trailer comes out, it's gonna come out. When that first trailer comes out, I'm gonna be freaking out, man.
The cinema lover in you is gonna just like die.
Because I always loved the first Avatar. It's one of my favorite like 20 movies ever. Like I always defend that movie. I know it's cool on the internet to hate that movie nowadays, but I fucking love that movie.
I just like I loved it just because of the tech that came with it, like all the motion capture stuff, the IMAX camera, that like really that CGI more into like a realistic like sense. Like that's what I love about it. The story is they just copy pasted Dancing with Wolves.
Yeah, but I mean everyone copies each other. It's all good.
That's very true.
Also, what's wrong with Dancing with the Wolves?
Just Dancing with Wolves.
Dancing with the Wolves.
There you go. Anyway, if I had to pick one thing I'm very excited for, like anticipation wise for this year, man, there's so much. Morbius definitely is on the top of my list, just because I want to.
Bro, I'm excited for Morbius too.
I just want to see like what it connects all together, because you see all elements of the 3 Spider-Man movies. You see Holland's villains. You see Garfield's Oscorp. You see Maguire's Spider-Man in graffiti in the background
with the word murderer
next to it, and you're just like, where?
Some are saying that got photoshopped in the trailer, and that's really Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in the movie.
I actually think it is, but like then what the hell's Michael Keaton doing in there? Oh, another movie. I don't know if it's coming out this year though. The Flash.
Okay, I think this is gonna be our last one because this movie got into some controversy recently. Because there's been some pretty substantiated scoops that said this movie is pretty much gonna erase like all the Zack Snyder stuff and it's gonna start anew, and that Wonder Woman and like Aquaman is canon, but like BVS and Man of Steel aren't really canon anymore, and that Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are pretty much gone, and that the Batman and Superman of this universe, well, Batgirl is eventually going to be the Batman of this universe, trained by Michael Keaton, and that Supergirl, played by Sasha Calle, who's a Colombian, by the way, which is awesome. She's going to be the Superman of this universe, and they're pretty much going to form a Justice League with Batgirl and Supergirl as the leaders, which I have a lot of thoughts about.
Did they do this for the sake of inclusivity, or was it true storytelling purpose?
Here's why this is a controversy, because everyone thinks this is a bit overcorrection to what of the past, because people didn't like BVS and the theatrical Justice League, and like they want to start anew again. But the thing I don't get is like you're conveniently taking Wonder Woman and Aquaman, 2 movies that are very successful, but you're not taking Henry Cavill. Look, I get not taking Ben Affleck's Batman because Ben Affleck has expressed. I think the original plans for Ben Affleck's Batman was for him to die and like Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 that doesn't exist. So like I'm fine with that. But Henry Cavill did nothing. All right, he does not deserve this. His Superman is awesome, and I want to see more of him. But for some reason, he's not part of these plans. Look, these aren't 100% confirmation yet. The movie could still do things that could surprise us, but like having Barbara Gordon and Kara Danvers taking the role of Batman and Superman, they're not Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent, man. Having those two, look, those are characters I have so much respect for. I love Barbara Gordon. She's one of my favorite DC characters overall. But she ain't Bruce Wayne, dude.
Well, the reason they're not bringing Harry Cavill back is because he doesn't want to come back. Like,
no, he wants to come back. No, he's expressed it many times.
no, here's the thing. Like I heard that he just is not happy with how Warner Brothers has been treating him as an actor with regards to scheduling and the treatment of the Superman character as a whole.
On top of that, Warner, since Henry is such a big like stickler for like keeping true to characters, he feels like Warner Brothers is not representing Superman in the way that he should be presented.
So like I understand why Cavill wouldn't want to come back, but just to kind of like what's it called? Just to kind of like log jam Supergirl and Batgirl into the roles of Batman and Superman.
It's an
I applaud.
overcorrection.
What?
It's an overcorrection.
It is. I applaud what you're trying to do. It's just not going in the right way. Batgirl and Supergirl are not significant enough characters as a whole to take the place of Batman and Superman. I just don't think that like the level of gravitas that each character brings to their respective roles within that universe can be matched by what is essentially their sidekicks.
Ouch.
Yeah.
It's like trying to bring Robin into it.
Yeah. And look, I'm excited for a Flash movie. Finally, we're finally getting a big budget Flash movie that isn't that CW shit anymore. Like,
you gotta give the CW a little bit more credit, man.
I loved that show at first, but it went to garbage, man. There's too many episodes. There's too many seasons. They already went through the best storyline, so it's like, why is it still going? Like, so yeah,
a storyline. Yeah, that would.
So yeah, I'm excited to see Flash finally get a big budget, respect that he deserves. But them like essentially starting a whole new universe again, it's very mixed feelings for me because I was one of the only people who liked Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and I think the Snyder Cut is great. And I think, but it's just like, sorry, I'm ranting so much.
It's all right. I'll finish it with all this. You can't expect the DC and Warner Brothers to have the level of competency and sense of direction that Marvel has had over the past 12 years. Sorry, 14 years. So like to like try to so like I'm sad about it too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not surprised because studio interference has always been a common trademark of Warner Brothers Productions and DCEU. So whatever they do with this, I hope they pull it off. Otherwise, you're just gonna have the original Suicide Squad all over again.
Yeah, I'm still excited for the movie. Like, I think it'll be good, but it's like, it just sucks that it came to be this way. Like, and I think it wasn't even Zack Snyder's fault. I think it was more Warner Brothers' fault.
It was
Warner Brothers' fault. Yeah, no, that's what we're saying. Like, it's all the studio's fault because because they're just so focused on what the original purpose for these characters were, which was to sell toys and merchandise, that they often forget, like, there's actual investment in characters that fans actually want. And Warner Brothers just hasn't figured that out yet. And they might not ever will. That's just how it's going to be.
It's so frustrating because I like most of these movies too. And like, and like
Disney buys Warner Brothers, which means they'll buy the DC.
Nah, they can't. They literally cannot. Disney cannot make another purchase right now. They are broke from buying Fox.
Worth it though, because now they get Deadpool, and that'll more than make up for the purchase.
Dude, they make millions already from the Spider-Man movie alone.
Actually, Sony is the one that benefits more from that.
Yeah, Sony gets the most money out of all that. Disney gets a little bit of a share, but not that much.
Yeah. That makes me happy.
Oh man. Anything else, guys? Before we conclude this very, 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 very long overdue podcast.
I think we're okay. Anything else you guys are looking forward to?
I'm trying to think, because like I feel like we talked about so much looking forward to already.
Yeah. Did you guys watch Arcane? Did you guys watch that yet?
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that.
I don't like League of Legends.
But you don't need to know about League of Legends to watch
I don't
this. You
care.
can just dive in as newborn.
I don't care. It's
Just like I didn't have to know anything about Witcher to get into it.
And that's great for you, but I just like I'm so against League of Legends that I won't watch anything remotely affiliated to it.
Wait, why are you against it?
It's a long story, but let's just say no. I have not watched it.
All right, I guess that's the end of our podcast, guys. Thank you so much. We talked about a lot, and the next time we do this is when the Batman comes out. You guys excited for Scream? Are you guys gonna watch that?
No, I don't like Scream.
You don't like Scream?
I don't like Scream.
I'll probably wait till it comes out on a streaming service and I'll watch it. It just doesn't seem like the kind of
Getting
movie.
good reviews. Getting good reviews.
Hey, I am Michael, Jason, Freddy, and Leatherface forever. Oh, and Pinhead too.
Oh, but Halloween Kills sucked.
How dare you?
Okay, it did suck, but it was like, what the fuck were they doing, man, in that movie?
Well, look, you know what I cared about the most about that movie? The kills. And
Yeah, those were good, but it was a sloppy ass movie, man.
That's like saying that. That's like going to watch Godzilla and saying, you know what sucked? The humans.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. I know, but that's the point. You're not there for the humans. You're there to watch a giant lizard fight a monkey.
True. But that's not the whole runtime, though. If that was the whole runtime, I'd be like, okay, fine. But the humans, they wasted so much talent in that movie. There's so many respected actors in the Godzilla vs. Kong, and that storyline was so garbage. I'm like, it's like Godzilla vs. Kong. Like we're like a year out for that movie now. It's like the Godzilla Kong parts 10 out of 10. The human stuff 5 out of 10.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's similar to like, you could say, oh, the police and the Myers family, 5 out of 10 in the Halloween Kills movie. Michael Myers just killing people like nothing, 10 out of 10 though.
Yeah, I agree.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like don't go into a Michael Myers video expecting a great story and character development.
But the first movie that came out a couple years before that actually had some good human storylines with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie was just in a hospital complaining the whole time.
They wouldn't let her do shit.
Yeah, and they were just doing that, so it's like, oh, let her recover so for Halloween ends, and I'm just like, God damn it.
I mean, look, I feel like this movie, like, it'll be held in its own regard, but maybe when the third one comes out, because everything's about prequels and sequels and trequels now.
And rewrites.
Like,
Martin Scorsese was right, honestly.
That hurts.
Coming from you, that really hurts, man. It hurts in the soul.
And this is coming from a guy who loves this stuff and is talking about this stuff.
That's why it hurts.
Yeah. It's all right, guys. We're gonna end on that note. We'll be back for the Batman, and we cannot wait for that. So later, guys.
Later.